this video, I'm going to be making Big Thunder Ranch ribs from the delicious Disneyland cookbook. Obviously, these are named after Big Thunder Mountain. They are served in the parks there. And this is just a good quality recipe that'll give you something a little different. We're going to make it with Silver Banjo barbecue sauce, which is another Disneyland recipe, to slather these with twice. Once while we're baking, and again afterwards when you're ready to eat them. But this is really good. It's got a much stronger citrusy flavor than a lot of other rib recipes that I've tried. And I'm from the South, y'all. I've had a lot of ribs. But there's a big dose of lemon pepper in here, and it's just really good. So let's go ahead and hop into the kitchen. I'm going to show you guys how to make these. We are going to begin this recipe by making a homemade barbecue sauce to go on our Big Thunder ribs. This is Silver Banjo barbecue sauce, which is an iconic piece of Disneyland history in particular. So we're going to start with 6 cups of tomato sauce, and to that we're going to add 2 1/4 cups of granulated sugar. This is a whole bottle, a 12-ounce bottle of chili sauce, and we're just going to get all of that in there. This is 3/4 cup of molasses. Now we're going to add a cup of water. 3/4 cup of red wine vinegar. 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce. 1/4 cup of soy sauce. This is a teaspoon of black pepper, as well as 4 teaspoons of celery seeds and 4 teaspoons of mustard powder. And this is 1/2 teaspoon each of cinnamon, onion powder, and garlic powder. And the last ingredient is hickory liquid smoke. And we're going to put just a teaspoon of that in there. It's pretty strong, so you really, even though this is a large quantity of barbecue sauce, probably don't want to put much more than that in there. And now we're just going to mix all this together and let this simmer get it to a boil and let it simmer for about an hour. And then we can let it cool back to room temperature and put it in the fridge, store it in bottles, do whatever you want to do. And we'll use this for our ribs when we're done with the recipe. The barbecue sauce has been simmering for about an hour, and you can see it's really thickened up and darkened in color a little bit here. And this makes a big portion. This is three quarts of barbecue sauce. Luckily, barbecue sauce lasts a long time if you put it in a nice container and put it in the fridge. We're going to let this cool back down to room temperature and do just that. And you can go ahead and save any leftovers you have from this recipe for any other recipes that call for barbecue sauce. Next up, we're going to make our citrus Roundup BBQ Rub. So we're going to take 2 1/2 tablespoons of lemon pepper, as well as 2 tablespoons of paprika and 2 tablespoons of seasoned salt. I'm from Memphis, so I'm using Rendezvous barbecue seasoned salt, but something like, Nature's Seasons or Lowry seasoning salt or anything like that will be just fine. Now we've got a tablespoon of sugar, as well as a tablespoon of brown sugar. And then a tablespoon each of onion powder, garlic powder, cumin, and chili powder, as well as a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And we're just going to mix all of these things together until we get a basically uniform mixture here of all of these spices. I've laid out some foil and I've put a rack of St. Louis style spare ribs on it. You want to have 2 of these racks, which should be 4 to 5 pounds total of ribs. And we're just going to take half of this seasoning and we're going to put it on our ribs, and then we're going to rub it in. And then we're going to do that with the other rib as well. And you want to rub it in on both sides and really get it completely coated in that wonderful seasoning. And then we're going to go ahead and wrap these in foil. And we're going to let these sort of dry marinate in this rub overnight. Look at how beautiful those ribs look already. So I've gone ahead and arranged this in a roasting pan because we're going to cook these in the oven. And we're going to put about 1/2 cup of water in the bottom of that pan. Now I'm going to cover the ribs in foil, and we're going to roast this at 350 degrees in the oven for 1 hour. It's been an hour, so now we're going to remove the foil. If you can get it off in one piece, you might want to save it though, because we are going to recover the ribs again when they rest. Oh yeah, look at that. Ooh, that looks beautiful. All right. Now what you want to do is drain the water from this pan. These are going to go back in the oven after we do a couple more things. But first things first, let's go ahead and get the water out of the bottom of this pan. Just as an aside, that's one of the reasons I use a roasting pan, is it's really easy to just lift this up, dump the water out, and bring it back over. So now I've got our Silver Banjo barbecue sauce, and we're just going to baste a thick coating of that all over the top of these ribs. And then once we're done basting the ribs in the barbecue sauce, we're going to go ahead and put these back in the oven, uncovered, still at 350 degrees, but uncovered for about 30 minutes. These just popped out of the oven, and you can see how nice and caramelized that sauce made the top of these ribs. Now we're going to let these rest for about 10 minutes covered in foil before we cut them. All right, let's cut into these bad boys and see how they came out. So almost done cutting these here. And just want to show you what they look like. Look at that. That's perfectly cooked on the inside. It's nice and tender, and it's reabsorbed all the juices from resting there. It's got this wonderful citrusy rub on it. So we're really going to enjoy these. If you're a big Parks fan, big Disney fan, or just enjoy some good barbecue ribs, definitely check out this recipe, and I'll see you guys at the next video.